we just press this red button.
Okay.
Where it says live. We're going live. We're good. We can go.
What do I do that? Just when it comes up.
Everyone loves it. I think
It's like
I might have to go buy one and then we can act.
Okay, one is not supported. That's great. Thank you so much.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. Sorry for the delay. We'll go ahead and move into open floor time. Anyone wishing to address the Senate body?
Hey everybody, my name is Hudson. How are you all? Affairs and Cabinet. Okay, so quick update for you all about the syllabus bank. So I talked a while ago to Senate, and currently the process that was being used was that professors had to upload for their specific courses. So we've been looking at how to expand that, and the newest development that we have is that now deans could add a college level department head or administrative person in the college, and then they can upload all of the syllabus for that entire department, and they can also grant that access to other people. So it's kind of like a chain, but it starts with the dean. So I can send that information to Skylar, and then she can send that all up to y'all, and that'd be great if y'all could talk with your deans about that the next meeting. And then the big goal that we're moving towards is in the near future, I think it'll be able to, syllabi will be able to go straight from Canvas to Banner, and it won't require any extra work. But for right now, that's what we can do. And then if y'all can talk about your deans, that'd be great. Any questions about that? Okay, thanks.
Is there anyone else to speak?
Okay. Hey y'all. As you may or may not know, I hope you do know though, it's campaign week. I'm excited. You're excited. Formal kickoff is Wednesday at 3. Formal kickoff will be Wednesday at 3, and we're gonna be on the campus screen at 3 p.m. There will be music and UBC's writing sound for us, so please come out. Weather permitting, if the weather's bad, we're just not gonna have that event, but it will start at 3 p.m. Y'all will start to see billboards and posters going up around noon, and so y'all please be on the lookout for that. Really, really, really encourage you and all your constituents to vote. Voting, even in SGA elections at school, really helps familiarize the process of voting. And so it's not some big, scary, like, mystical thing when people have voted local, state, national elections, if they vote regularly in things like this. A couple of other dates. Voting day is February 5th. That is next Tuesday. And the SGA debate, where you'll be able to hear your Miss Auburn, Treasurer, Vice President, and President candidates, is going to be next Monday, February 4th at 6 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom. I think y'all will have, y'all will definitely have Senate after that, but we will be in the ballroom at 6 p.m. So y'all please come out and listen to everybody. You'll notice that all of the candidates' platforms and budgets who have submitted them are up on the SGA website, so please feel free to go read those. And there's also a violation form. Anyone has the capability to turn in violations. You just have to do it within 24 hours of the violation occurring. So like, if somebody throws a tomato at you on Tuesday at 9 a.m., you have until Wednesday at 9 a.m. to tell us they threw a tomato. Cool? So be on the lookout for that. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, no, cool. Please feel free to email me. But first, think before you email me, like, could this be answered in the code of laws that I already have? Yes, probably. And then if not, you can email me. Thanks.
Is there anyone else?
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Sparks, and I am serving as this semester's chair of Organizations Board. So I'm here tonight because we actually had 2 new appointments coming up tonight on your docket. So I was just here to answer any questions you guys might have about those that are appointing. It is Jordan Bailey, who serve alongside, and Nathan Holden. So if you guys have any questions? No? Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you'll definitely consider them. You guys have a good night.
Is there anyone else that should utilize this time? Seeing none, we'll move into roll call. Now we're going to see how well this works with the little bit of difficulty that we have with the eye clickers. So if we're ready, keep them exciting. You know, just listen to Frank. You got to mix it up. Okay. Okay. A, everybody click A. We good to go?
Has everyone done it?
approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out to you electronically. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes stand. Moving into reports, we begin with executive officers. Thank you.
What's going on, y'all? What's in this? We got 4 Senate meetings left. How are you going to make those 4 Senate meetings the best yet? I'll leave you with this. All gas?
No brakes.
Think about it. Y'all finish strong.
So ring week is the week after campaign week, so February 11th through the 15th. So if you have 75 credit hours or more, you're eligible by your ring. And this also includes, they don't all have to be Auburn hours, so if you transfer to Auburn or anything like that, as long as you have 75 hours, if you have completed 75 hours, you can buy your ring. And then next week, if you're looking out for a future order, it'll be a PDF from SGA about stipend review. So basically each semester we review the student stipends for all the SAT leaders. And so we have 4 new stipends that were submitted this semester, and so it'll be around $3,500. So be looking out for that. And then also just wanted to quickly talk about a resolution coming through by Senators Jeter and Rummel. So financial literacy is kind of been a big goal of SGA for the past 4 to 5 years. So this year, one of our big executive goals is, okay, cool. Okay, we'll cut off, but it's basically to advocate for the establishment of student financial literacy services on Auburn's campus. So that was one of my big goals for the year. And then just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about the background of financial literacy. So like I said, we've been invested in this for the past several years. In 2016, we worked with SGA worked with the Office of the Provost to send out a survey to students about financial literacy. And so that survey showed these following things, that students lack of knowledge in the following areas, which is post-graduation budgeting, student loans, bank loans, investments in stocks, and then retirement planning. And then, you go on, Jason. And so if you don't know what any of those, or how to do any of those things, I would encourage you, like I'm sure I've said multiple times this semester, to sign up for the personal finance course that the College of Business offers. It's a 3-hour course, and it will be available to any student next semester. And so this past fall semester was the first time it was open to all students. And we had about 150 students sign up for it. They had to cap it at 150. I think it probably would have been a lot more. But I think of those students, I think there's about a quarter of each, I think there's 25% from each grade classification. And then I want to say, I think around half were non-business majors and half were business majors, which was kind of the goal of that. I don't have the exact numbers, but those are kind of the rough estimates. And then I don't have the numbers for the spring semester at the moment. And then, so right now, other than this course and a few other courses throughout the university, we don't really, or Auburn University doesn't have any comprehensive programming for financial literacy. So you kind of have to go out of your way to find ways to educate yourself on financial literacy. And so that's kind of brings us to this bill, and then here's also, I guess you can't really see it, we can send it out after Senate, but basically this shows Auburn compared to a bunch of peer institutions, basically showing the financial literacy resources that we have. And all we have right now is a third-party module, and then we also, in addition to the personal finance class. As you can see, all these other universities have co-curricular programming, peer advising, courses that any student can take as a part of their core requirements, and a lot more. So we can send that out to y'all after this, just so you can see it. And then basically just kind of lastly, just want to talk about the purpose of this resolution. So this is a bill, or resolution work, or this is Crawford and Sully's resolution. I just got to help them with it. But basically the purpose of it is to ask the administration to come up with a short-term and long-term strategy for financial literacy going forward. And so we've already met with Dr. Woodard and Dr. Hargrave about the resolution, and they're both huge supporters of it. So if y'all have any questions, it's only a future order this week.
I guess y'all will vote on it next week, but if y'all have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'd love to talk about it. It's something I'm really passionate about. So I hope to hear from a few of y'all. But thank y'all.
Sup, fam? A couple announcements real quick, one update. So SGA will send 3 or 4 students up to DC. Normally it's in the summertime, but this year we're doing it in the spring for what's called SEC in DC. So we'll meet other SEC schools up in DC, have a couple functions, do some lobbying meeting with legislators and such. We're going to send y'all an application. There are 1 to 2 slots left, and they're going to be apply only. So those will come out in the dates are March 24th through 28th. So it's 2 weeks after spring break. It's a Sunday through Thursday. So if that's something that interests you. One kind of fun thing. Y'all remember last semester me asking you about the Amazon locker? Well, that's kind of cool now because we have one up across from Chick-fil-A. So thank you for your feedback in that. If y'all ever want an Amazon Prime or Amazon ship to that location, you can just select that as your shipping address. It'll be Auburn University. And I believe it has a name, like it's like Monchi or something. It says it up in the top right, but it should be the only one. So that's there kind of for y'all to use if y'all want to share the word about that. I know a lot of us have Amazon Prime these days, and there should be some more marketing coming out about that from the university. Lastly, just wanted to let y'all know, one of SGA exec's goals this year was to initiate a faculty lunch program. We're branding it as Flunch, and that is being coded currently. So it allow a faculty member and a student to attend lunch on campus twice a semester for free for both of y'all. That can be used for career advice or career advice things later in life, the classroom, all that kind of stuff. Just really to foster that student-faculty interaction. So be looking out for more updates as that's coming. But we're excited because that's in motion. We're going to be able to pull a lot of data on the back end from that for what students are using it for. So great reporting on the back end for student affairs, SGA, and things like that. Appreciate all y'all do. Looks like y'all have a full plate coming up this week and next week, so finish strong. Thank y'all.
I've only got 2 kind of dates that I want y'all to plug into your calendars. First thing is this Friday, it's Family Friday. It's on Cater Lawn from 11 to 1. I encourage y'all to attend. There will be great food, drink, and just awesome Auburn students that will be there that you can interact with. Also next, Miss AE Platform Week. Our Miss Auburn University is Lauren Bradford, and I would just encourage y'all to get involved with her Platform Week, which is February 11th through 15th. So more information will be coming out about that, and I actually might send it to you so you can forward it on where you can sign up to help on the concourse. But I would really appreciate y'all coming to that event and then also helping out on the concourse. Thank you.
Are there any other executive officer reports? Seeing none, we'll move into colleges, beginning with at-large.
None at large. So just a few things. Like we mentioned earlier, campaign kickoffs are coming up. So encourage all your friends and constituents, even if they're not like super interested in what's going on, just to go out and hear all the platforms and that kind of thing, and maybe they'll get a good idea for them to vote for. Also, Thursday's events, that was crazy. We're thankful for the Auburn Police response time. We also hope the mother and child are doing well. And then last thing, Sully has promised that it's going to snow tomorrow. And I promise you that at-large is doing all that we can to make it snow. So email him with any questions you might have if he decides not to snow. Thank you.
Agriculture.
Agriculture, I like to use my time to be schools council president.
Hey y'all, I'm Emily and I'm the president of the College of Agriculture.
I'm Dan. I'm the vice president.
First of all, thanks for having us. It's weird to be back. I was a senator for 2 years, so what y'all do really help so getting them to interact with one another can be sort of difficult, but can also be such an advantage because you just learn so much when you know, interact with someone who has a different passion than you do or stuff like that. So we also hosted a blood drive and a marathon PPR training, just kind of things to continue to encourage, you know, blood drive, move back to the community, and PPR training is always good for leaders to have in their back pocket. But something that we began this year that we're really excited about is our point system within our clubs in the college. So we have over 23 to 25, I'm not sure the number, clubs in our college specifically. And we really did want to encourage connecting with one another and encourage them to participate in the events that one another puts on. So we have a point system that we've been keeping track of all year. You get points for coming to our events, you get points for going to other events, you get points for hosting events. And at the end, it's going to factor into our Club of the Year award that we get at the end of each year.
Some of the events we put on were Popsicles with the Dean, which was at the beginning of the semester. It was an event we hosted where we invited all the deans of the college back to come out and interact with the students and enjoy popsicles. And I remember it was like 98 degrees, so it was pretty effective. Everybody wanted to stop in and grab a popsicle. We had Welcome Back Picnic, which is a big organization day we have. All of our clubs set up booths, and freshmen specifically are targeted. But all students are encouraged to go around from booth to booth and to get information and sign up for maybe just emails from the club so that they can know when meetings are happening, so that they can join and connect with those clubs in the college. And then we hosted Spring O Night about a week ago, and it's essentially the same thing just in the spring for all the students who were maybe a little timid about joining the club in the fall. We re-encourage them to go back out and to reach out to the clubs in the college.
So connecting with the rest of campus was our second goal for the year. And we would keep our club presidents and club members updated on involvement opportunities. We have this big email that goes out to our whole college. That's through our student services office, but our advisor is the one who sends it out. So we had her put different involvement opportunities for the week so that, you know, those students in our college could be informed on, you know, SGA events or UPC events or opportunities to get involved with all those other organizations. We also partnered with the School of Forestry Schools Council to host a Roast the Hogs event. So it was like a tailgate event we had on Friday before the Arkansas football game. It was fun. We had a lot of people come out. We had little barbecue sandwiches, and they were really popular. And we had it right there on Comer Lawn, so students who were just going to class just stopped by and grabbed one. And it was great to interact with another college in that way and to just kind of meet those people and get to hang out with them. We also partnered with the College of Business in December to host a holiday coffee house where we had a fundraiser for Campus Kitchens. We collected cans and money for that organization, and it was really great. We had coffee and hot chocolate and stuff, so it was awesome.
Connecting with the community was the third point. We this fall we hosted Ag Roundup, which was a homecoming event. It's when we have all of our clubs as well as alumni. They kind of set up booths over there at the Red Barn, and we had like food and games and stuff where they can all interact with each other. We had a photo booth. We had what we personally, that was our personal booth. It was pretty popular at first. Everybody was a little hesitant to come take pictures on the strawberries, but eventually they all warmed up to it. And then we have parents' weekend as well, which was homecoming.
Yeah, we meshed the two events together. That was kind of a new thing we did this year to kind of once again connect with the community of parents and students and homecoming, so like alumni and people in the community. And it was really awesome because we had, you know, that's a student with a parent up there and they took that picture. But those are also kids in the community. They might be, you know, their parents might be alums, or they might have just been people who like to come to Ag Roundup because they know there's going to be good food there. But it's a great opportunity for our clubs and our students to show everyone what they're doing and what they're learning in their college, and it was extremely successful. So we also held an exchange weekend with the Texas A&M College of Ag Council. Those 4 students drove all the way from College Station, so props to them. And they hung out with us. We went to, we showed them Ag Hill, showed them Auburn's campus, Family Friday, and they got to meet Audie, that's when we took that picture. We went, took them downtown Auburn, we went to the fisheries unit, which is one of the College of Ag's research units. We took them to the Raptor Center. It was really, really fun. They tailgated with us, and they kind of got to see Auburn. They even went to Tumor's Corner after they lost, so they're really good sports. But yeah, it was really awesome just to talk to a schools council from another university and find out the things that they do and learn from them and teach them about Auburn. So that was great. So lastly, this is our big event we have every year. It's Ag Week, which technically, the new Ag Council will be elected by then, but we'll still be helping out with it and putting it on. So it's the big event we do every year. It's a week-long series of events. On Monday, we're doing an Ag alumni lunch panel. So that'll be cool. It's like some alumni who were on Ag Council themselves coming back and speaking to our students about, what they learned, their time at Auburn, their careers. On Tuesday, we're having what we call the Ag Olympics. So that's like we're having different clubs in the organization, clubs in the college, like have their own teams and compete against each other. So that'll be fun. Wednesday, we're having our Ag Hill picnic, which we have almost every year. It's on the lawn of Comer. Y'all are welcome to come. Dan's trying to get a mechanical bull. I don't know if that'll happen, but if it is, that'd be fun. And then Thursday, we have our Beyond the Farm event, which we had last year as well, and it was entitled Farm Fest. And we're partnering with Campus Dining and the Office of Sustainability. And it'll be on the campus screen. And it'll be a great opportunity for y'all to come out and learn about what the College of Ag does. A lot of people don't know a lot about agriculture, but it affects everyone because you all eat and you all wear clothes. And it's really awesome. We had over 1,000 students come last year, and that's not just students in the College of Ag, that's students throughout campus. So come there, we'll have things that you can do, things you can learn, music, and good food from local sources. And what? Yeah, petting food. So that'll be great. And then Friday we have something called a stud auction. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I think it's where they sell mates with men for money. We don't put that on. So anyway, that's all we have. Thanks for letting us come.
Thanks, Aaron, again, for business.
Carol, a business. I just want to reiterate what Dixon was saying earlier about the financial literacy course. I know Senator Nunn was in that class last semester, and I'm in it this semester. So if you or anyone you know is looking for a free elective to take this next fall, it's a great class. It's super beneficial for you guys. Also, if anyone knows any good rain dances for the snow, please see me afterwards and talk.
Patsy. Hosting. Their report. Education. Their report. Engineering.
Martin Engineering. I'll yield my time to Ben. He's going to give us our knowledge.
How's it going, guys? I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. I know you got a lot going on this evening. So like I said, my name is Ben Ratliff. I'm president of Engineering Student Council. Just want to tell you a little bit about what we've done this year. So first off, just kind of give us an idea of what our purpose is. What we always say is that we're liaison between the faculty and the students. Really that kind of connection there. A lot of the students will understand that a lot of our needs are really open door policy. It's really easy to get to talk to them. But we also try to be the kind of student connection to SGA centers, things like that. So to do that, though, we also like to create opportunities for students. Get more involved in college. We've got a giant college. Engineering is by 6,000 undergraduate students with another 1,000 graduate students on top of that. So we've got a lot of students and trying to get all of those people involved in something and connect it back. And something outside of the class is kind of difficult. But that's what we're trying. So then a couple of events we hold on every year. Welcome Week Barbecue is one. If you were buying louder on Welcome Week, you probably noticed this. We normally have about 2,000 students this year. It's what it sounds like. We have a lot of burgers and hot dogs and people engineering masters cook. We set up all the organizations. We've got 43 organizations in College of Engineering. And so we set them up on a little lawn out there in front of Shelby. And so the students can kind of walk by, see what organizations there are, see what opportunities there are to get involved in college, as well as get some free food. So that's a fun event. We really like doing that every year. We get a lot of opportunities. Not all engineering, it's just good ones. Another thing that we do every semester is our monthly meetings with town hall events. Our meetings are with the Engineering Student Council, which is made up of those representatives from each of those 40 some odd organizations. That's where we kind of come all those different organizations, you get people from every background, major, age, those kind of things. And so it's a really good focus group. We can learn a lot from them at the college level. They do have a lot of input on some of the things we put on in college. We also have town hall meeting, and that's something that's required of us from Nicole Laws, the whole town hall. So we hold these town hall events. We've changed the past, since my tenure, the way we do them. They're now more of a forum setup. So we actually, instead of just having our dean stand up and talk a little bit about what's going on in the college and field some questions, we have him up there, our associate dean for academics, normally me or somebody representing me, and hopefully a couple of senators there as well. So that allows the students to have different options to have questions, not just for the dean. If they want to know what the new football ticket policy is, they can ask about it. So that's kind of our way of giving them an outlet for all their questions. So that's one of our payments going on here. And then to wrap up, we've got some new initiatives that are coming on this year. Something I've worked really hard on is our alumni mentoring program. So we've got a lot of student organizations in college. We've got a lot of students that parents are engineers, grandparents were engineers, or internship or intern different places, go off different places. But a lot of people that don't know anything about what they're going to go into when they graduate. So this alumni mentoring program is to give those students somebody to talk to that's graduated recently, about 10 years out is what our mentor range is, to give them an opportunity to answer some of those questions like what to do at a job fair, what kind of things do I need to have on my resume, interview advice, things like that. Just little questions that you might not think about every day. So we're doing a pilot program. As e-council, we're trying to kind of take this program this year and learn about it, learn what makes a good mentoring relationship, what makes a bad one, if they need any guidance, curriculum-wise, if they don't. So then hopefully after next year we can put that into a report and figure out the viability of the college-wide program. So we've got 40 students signed up for that and 24 mentors. Next week. And then finally, as you notice all the building going on, the Student Achievement Center, e-council does a lot of work in programming that. Right now, it's getting close to completion. It'll actually finish in the end of May, and we'll start getting into it in June, July. So we're working on a lot of marketing and branding right now for it, how it's going to look, and people are going to feel and everything. So that's all I have for now. I appreciate everything.
Voice Chair Marlison.
No report.
Grad School.
Zinner Graduate School. Just on Wednesday, the Graduate Student Council Senate is going to be having our regular monthly meeting. A lot of things are on our agenda, of course, including the upcoming SGA election, which a couple of other reports have already mentioned. I will have the privilege of going in some detail over the constitutional amendments. I don't know who wrote them. I think they should know about them. I want the graduate student body to make sure they really are informed and make an educated decision on that. We have a lot of other things we're going to be voting on, but I think we're probably going to hear a lot about it when we have our graduate student council come in like these others have done. So I don't want to take the spotlight from them in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Human Sciences.
Huntley Human Sciences. So we had our last Human Sciences Ambassadors meeting with the current set of officers this afternoon at 5. It was a really great way to kind of like wrap up our term and kind of transition into preparing for the next set of officers for the remainder of their terms as ambassadors. So I might even say we have commit like Talents Days, Work Days, keeping them updated on things within the college. Another thing that we're launching is office hours this semester for our ambassadors. So if you have questions, they can come in and ask those ambassadors about different things within the college. So we're really excited about that. So that was a big thing for us this year, was to make the most of this in college. Another thing that we have going on is, so as you all know, because I've already mentioned this, Dean Hinton is retiring from our college, and so we are actually starting that process of hiring a new dean beginning in February. We already have 8 applicants, so really excited about that, and our schools council president is going to get a real hand into that selection process, that interview process, and what that's going to look like. So really excited about who's going to take your place, but really excited to see her go at the same time. So I'll keep y'all updated.
Thank you. Liberal arts.
No report.
Nursing. Pharmacy. Moving into committees, beginning with the executive committee.
Calhoun Business. The first thing I want to do is PSSB 190204001. Did you get that? Yeah. That's the organization board confirmation. I would like to move that up to a current order of business for many reasons, but the most important being they have their hearings tomorrow. So Jacob Sparks came up and spoke in front of you guys just a second ago, so he explained that reasoning. So, yes.
Motion's been made. Is there any discussion on this motion? objections to moving item A under future order to current order of business? Seeing none, we'll vote on that tonight. Thank you, Senator Patton.
Thank you. Next, just keep up with your office hours. I'll be sending out that form later this week, so make sure you are doing that. We need a strong finish to the year, as Danny said at the beginning. Senate, after this Senate, we have 3 more. So please, if you guys have any legislation that you're working on, please try and finish those meetings so you can bring the year to a close. Also, Senator Turton and I would like to remind everybody to not check out next couple of weeks because of elections. So please, try and stay with it during the next 2 weeks. We both think that's very important that everybody sticks, with Senate throughout this entire time. So thank you guys. That's all I have.
Is there a report from academic affairs?
On budget and finance, we have 2 PDFs coming through today, both with student media, and then like Dixon said, we're talking about the stipend review stuff tomorrow in our meeting. So, yeah.
Center Graduate School. So we did not meet last week due to Martin Luther King Jr. and this morning we did not have quorum. So I would like to ask all the members of the Code of Laws Committee, including our freshman senator, to meet with me immediately after Senate, so that we can have a mega meeting. There's a number of things we need to talk about, as well as one bill in particular, specifically the issue. There's a potential discrepancy in election law. It's not huge, but I want to get this fixed up. Props to Dixon for bringing this to my attention, by the way, last semester. We are also going to need to talk about renumbering the code, among other things. I think I mentioned it in previous code reports. But one final note I'd like to mention is, within the past week, as I finally sent off the Academic Honesty Code to the Office of the Provost. They are receiving it and distributing it to the committee. So the Academic Honesty Code that we passed at the end of last semester, worked really hard on that. Thank you, everyone, for all your questions, comments, feedback. A lot of good work went into that. That is actually going to be impacting students going forward. So I just thought I'd let everybody know about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Inclusion and diversity.
Huntling and sciences. So a couple of big projects to wrap up with our terms with Inclusion and Diversity Committee. So we're pushing towards some of the goals that we set at the beginning of the semester and kind of wrap up on those. One of those being an inclusivity checklist. So I don't know if you know if I've mentioned this in this room, but basically this checklist would serve different organizations on campus to make sure that they're being inclusive when planning events. So things like being cognizant of your marketing materials, or how you serve food, or are there vegan options, different things like that to kind of keep people cognizant of the things when they're planning events. So we're working on that. Hopefully, y'all should be seeing that very soon. Also, we're going to be showing y'all the data from the feedback for the cultural competency survey. So we're working on compiling that data right now, and hopefully we'll have that presentation for y'all by the end of the term.
Student affairs.
Jeter at large. So thanks to Senator Bailey, this is the first time that Student Affairs has more items than Code of Law. Just want to point that out. We passed a commendation through our committee tonight from Senator Zinner and Senator Hambrick. Should see that next week. Again, all these election bills will be fun to debate about from Senator Bailey, and then financial literacy resolution that Jason talked about earlier.
Thank you. Moving into reports from liaisons, beginning with BNC.
I just want to let you guys know about BSU's annual event called Soul Food Off. So this year it's going to have like the 90s and 2000s things, so you could dress accordingly or from New York, doesn't matter. It's basically going to be an event that's going to highlight soul food and history behind it, and basically like the family aspect of things. And it will be February 6th at 6 o'clock.
Thank you. Senior Veteran. Honors Congress.
Patel Honors Congress. So just a quick update about this position. About 2 weeks ago, we sent out applications for the liaison position next semester, or next Senate term. And our main goal was to have some continuity with you guys as a Senate body and just the liaison position. So we're going to keep that the same term. And we found heavy interest in that, so we're going to be interviewing about 8 people over the next 2 weeks to fill the liaison position.
That's awesome. Thank you.
012-806, Title 8 Auxiliary Groups.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Zinner.
Zinner, Graduate School. Before I move this for a vote, Kirsten, did you just get? There were a number of changes that were brought to my attention, both some even today, fairly minor, just referring to specifically the positions. What I presented last week, the only difference is it's an S in parentheses, so it says directors, but it could be optional directors. Small, minor change there. I took out one of the requirements for lobby board. It's something that they would like on voter registration. It's something that they would like to do, but after hearing some feedback, and this is to be clear, the information came from the description they gave to me. It's not like I was like, oh, you need to do voter registration without even talking to them. But they said, that could probably fit under some of the other things, leave more discretion for the director of lobby board, which actually gets into the final little change, which I just sent to Pearson. That's the one. It is changing director of lobby board to director of governmental relations, because again, the way I've written this in the code, the director of any of these positions is simply a term for the code use. You could really call it whatever you want. It doesn't say you have to have a position called this. But just for simplicity's sake, I think it would make sense to use the term they're using right now. So I'm asking for changing director of, or as this bill from Pearson, I said just said Pearson says it changes director of lobby board to director of governmental relations. Other than that, it's exactly the same thing that I presented last week. So I move to pass this bill as written. So thank you.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Kristen, are we ready to go on the voting system? All those in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and this bill is adopted.
PSSB 190128-02, Organization Board Confirmation.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Biden.
Calhoun, is this? Go on and get back to it. So this bill is pretty straightforward. We have two new members that will be added to the organization board. The hearing will be tomorrow. You may recognize one of the names. And I move to pass this bill as written.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye and click A. If
No.
We'll try that. Now say aye, click A. All opposed? The ayes have it, and these two people will be appointed to organization board. And that's it for current orders. We'll move into future orders now.
PSSB 1902-0402, PEF for Student Media, WEGL.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Martorano.
Alright, so this PDF, they requested this money during carryover hearings, which is when all the SAPs come in with leftover money and request to move it over to the next year. But we chose to withhold this money from them because in their original budget, they didn't outline that they were going to use this for the desk. But due to some smart budgeting decisions and just kind of economical decisions on other line items, they were able to save this money. And now they returned it to the reserve fund during carryover hearings. But now they're coming back and requesting it. And it'll just be like an upgrade to their current desk in the WGL studio. So, do you have any questions about that now or sometime this week? We should do it. So.
PSSB 1902-0403, PEF for Student Media, Eagle Eye TV.
Alright, so this $1,500 is going to go towards the data plan for some equipment they bought this past year. So they bought this equipment where they can go anywhere with cell service and live stream stuff going on up to the Eagle Eye website and Eagle Eye TV.
PSSB 19020404, Chapter 704, Declaration of Candidacy.
Bill is brought to you by Senator Megan.
Thank you, engineering. So this one, this is just like clarification of what we already do, and then one part of the end is like a recognition. So this is much more normal office, I just moved that. The top one says you can basically change what position you want to run for. We already do that, but you should say you could. So some people are confused whether like the first position you applied for is what you're stuck with. And then full time, it says major candidates, but you change that to all candidates because the rule is already that you have to be full time to run for any position, whether it's minor or major. It just doesn't say that specifically. I also added in the co-op program and stuff, and like internships, so that if you're not on campus for any semester, you can still apply to run. Especially like if you're in a co-op or like some internships for certain majors are required. So you still have the opportunity to apply, and the next semester you have to be back on campus to actually like campaign for your students. And then this is the big change. It's basically like if you're getting 2 degrees or you're in separate schools, you'd be able to choose which one you go to. Senator Zitter was talking to me earlier about how it's worded a little incorrectly where you could choose any school. So I need to work on that a little bit. The goal basically is like, if you're in graduate school and you're also in liberal arts, then you get to choose to run for whichever seat. Or if you're getting a degree in COSAM, then also a degree in engineering, you'd be able to have the option. Just to like open up more pathways and like clarify, because some students are just confused what the rule is. So this part is more trying to make that specific. That's not what we do right now. Let's go through.
PSSB 19020405, Chapter 708.2, Campaign Preparation.
This is for call night. Basically, it says that you can use social media, except for it has to be like one-on-one. So like I might have my friend's number, but like I could DM them on Instagram or like Snapchat them. Just to, it's been like a lot of confusion whether you can use it. So basically, you can call, text, and use your social media as long as it's like one-on-one with the person, and you're not using it to like garner votes. So it's just like to support, to get like build staff like you would normally, like you would texting people. But you can just use more resources. But you still have to use all of the ones that are outlined in the campaign packet.
PSSB 19020406, Chapter 708.4, Formal Campaigning.
Okay, so this one is, so there's a lot of like free speech and like you can do whatever you want to an extent, and so this is like a direct copy basically of the Auburn policy of coercion. So this is like when you're on the campaign or you're out like protesting or doing anything, these are all the rules of what you can't do. It's just been a lot of students, like one of the main things that students like coming to me and asking like, you know, this person is like, in their words, like harassing or doing anything extreme. Like, is there like a rule against it? Like, there really like wasn't. Like, I guess you already couldn't do these things because it was in like our policy. I want to make sure we clarified it somewhere in the code so people know not to be like excessive with their campaign. So yeah. Is there another part?
PSSB 19020407, Chapter 709.1, Use of all campaign material.
This has 2 parts to it. This one, there was a question of whether or not you basically pay for votes or like, let's say I'm giving away cookies or something. Could I be like, you only get a cookie like based on whether you vote for me or not, or like you only get this coupon based on whether you vote for me or not. So it's basically kind of like bribing people to vote, which has been alleged in the past. But then people are like, well, it's not in the code, and so I was like, well, we should put it in the code somewhere. That was the main thing. Campaign materials is one of the questions that covers all of the like handbills or posters or like that kind of thing. I just want to make sure. And then also it says like anything outside of the campaign too. So you can't be like, hey, like I'll give you this $5 if you vote for me.
So I'm trying to work to clarify that. So instead of saying there's some clerical things, but that was like the main goal of it, was basically to define like those are the banners you're not using, not just like any banners in general, because I don't think that was the original intention of the policy.
PSSB 19020408, Chapter 709.4, Mass Media.
Okay, this one the election director will check your campaign social media, regardless of the beginning of election, or like at multiple times throughout the week. This is just making it simpler for them, where you basically list off all of like your main sources. How senators in our last couple months we talked about like future proofing the code. This is kind of part of that, so hopefully we don't have to like directly limit every single resource you have, or like social media you want to use. Like it'll be more open, as long as you listen to them, then like they know where to check and where to look. So therefore you won't get restrained later. Yeah, that's the big goal about it.
PSSB 19-020409, Chapter 709.8, Public Endorsement of Candidates.
Okay, so the reason for this bill was a lot of minor candidates were asking if, minor candidates were asking if they could support major candidates, which is legal. You can be able to campaign if you're a minor candidate for another major candidate. And so I was writing this bill, mainly talking about who can't publicly endorse people. And there's some gray area with endorse and support. So the code technically has two different definitions for support and endorse. So endorse would be like publicly coming out and be like, hey, I'm a former SGA, whatever, I think like this. Or support was more just like being on the campaign trail and wearing a shirt, that kind of thing. So I know the first few are already, the main issue is like the major candidates and especially campaign managers. There's an issue with the campaign managers running a different race, so they still support themselves, or their ticket. Which is yes, but I didn't add themselves and their ticket, like as that part. So campaign managers can be minor candidates as well.
PSSB 19-0204-10, Chapter 710, Budget.
Okay. So let me do this here. So the first one, it needs to say crowdfunding, not crowdsourcing, because that's two separate things. I got mixed up. I also hopefully would amend this to add a definition, a specific definition of crowdfunding. But those are already legal. Like that's already 710.3 is already legal. I'm just saying it's legal so people like know kind of thing. You can already get money from outside sources in different ways, but like some people were scared that like if you got a donation from your parents, whether you could use that for the campaign, which like that's completely fine. And the second one, that's the very controversial one, I guess, that's easy to put it, is basically making that if you're in a race with, so let's say I'm running against COSAN, they have a full ticket, I'm running by myself. My budget would then increase to match theirs. And so the goal of it was to kind of increase, I don't know, competition, people actually like wanting to run because they feel like they have a chance. I was really like trying to leave this one very, very vague, so I wanted to get like feedback as much as possible, or like different ideas. That's why I didn't like add exactly super specific parts to it. Like I have my idea, which is generally I want it to be basically each college is a different amount of money depending on how many seats open, and it still would be everybody gets the same amount, but you know an engineering person would get $1,300 for themselves. That would be drastically too much. But I really wanted to give this feedback on like what people felt about this and like their ideas on budgets. That's why I didn't want to put a bunch of specific stuff immediately. I would kind of leave it more vague and then possibly add amendments from what y'all give me in feedback.
PSSB 19-020411, Chapter 711, Violations.
So the major part of this one is adding the student code of conduct of some things that campaigns can't break. Most of it's already in there, and most other colleges they'll have like a statement that says the same kind of thing as the student code of conduct. I was talking to Max earlier about whether like elections board should be able to make like judgment calls this way. And I feel like if they make judgment calls on like state, local, and federal laws, which is like later down in code, I feel like they should be able to have the same kind of I feel like they'd be able to. I talked to Brie about it. She said that they should be able to handle that kind of thing. I don't think this really adds much to the code. But it was just like one of those things that was like there was concern that somebody did break the code or break like student conduct. Would the campaign get a violation or would only that person get in trouble? And so hopefully in this way it can kind of like both. Like basically teach your campaigners how to campaign properly and not do things that are illegal, and then also that person, if it's heinous enough, should go to student conduct. And both should be penalized. So yeah, so if you have any questions on any of these, go on my email. I really want feedback. I've been like emailing, texting a lot of y'all to like see on each of these. But yeah, I want as much like input as possible because there's a lot of like little tweaks, but it's really important that we get like as much of it cleared up and right as possible.
PSSR 19020401 Financial Literacy Resolution.
This resolution is brought to you by Senator Rummel and Senator Jeter.
Rummel Business. So Dixon kind of hit on all this earlier during his presentation. So this is kind of what this was basically his main goal for this whole entire year. And basically what this is coming from was in 2016, the Office of the Provost put together an ad hoc financial literacy committee. And what their job was to do was to gauge the existing levels of financial literacy understanding within the student body. And some of their findings were that students experience a great deal of stress with textbook and academic costs, postgraduate budgeting, the impact of debt on their finances, student loans, and tuition fees. And all this kind of led back to that Auburn lacks any campus-wide program or resources necessary to support students who are in need of financial literacy training. So that's kind of what brought us to this resolution, and so it's kind of going to hit on the purpose of what we're doing.
Right, so the purpose really started with the financial literacy class being in high demand, kind of showing Auburn students not necessarily knowing all the answers to financial questions after graduation, and Auburn not currently having a resource for them to go to. And again, like what Crawford mentioned with the committee that kind of looked into that to see how prepared students were. And basically the ask with our therefore statement isn't very specific for a reason. It is kind of to leave it open, challenging administrators to see this information and then act on it as they see fit. So kind of in this process, we're talking to Dr. Woodard and a few others. We do believe we found like a home for this financial literacy institute to be held with Ms. Rooker, but again, it's kind of still up in the air on what direction administrators want to run with this, and that's kind of what we're trying to give them to. Is that we're not necessarily saying this has to be in the core. We're not saying there has to be web resources. We're basically saying whatever they see fit, whatever can improve students' financial literacy comprehension would benefit students. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask us or this as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is it for our orders of business tonight. We'll move into announcements, and I have just a few things. So as we've talked a lot about, it is election week and campaigning is about to begin. And please keep in mind those constitutional referendums that you all passed to be on the ballot last week. We have to have 25% of the student body voting on those for them to even be considered. So please continue to have that conversation with other organizations you're in. There will be simplified verbiage of those changes on the SGA website and on marketing materials. So please be sure to share those and just encourage your peers to vote regardless. With it being campaign week, the debate is next week in the ballroom at 6, so we'll have Senate following the debate in the ballroom as well. So go into the debate, and just hang out there for a little bit, and then we'll get the ballroom rearranged and move into Senate because we do have a lot to discuss next week. As our term term comes to an end, just keep up the good work. You know, obviously we have a lot coming through, and so that's really exciting to me that we do have 3 more senates left and we're not stopping short. The banquet will be on March 3rd, so please go ahead and put that on your calendar. That's that Sunday of that weekend. I believe it's at 6. It's at 6. And so looking forward to seeing all of y'all there and recapping everything that you've done throughout this term. One exciting thing that will be announced there is Senator of the Year, and so I am wanting to go ahead and take nominations for that. And then a Google poll or a Google form will be sent out with those names, and somebody will be selected. So, are there any nominations for Senator of the Year? Senator Dawes?
Senator Jeter.
Okay.
Senator Davis. Senator Daly.
Senator Zimmer.
Are there any other nominations? Awesome. I will get that poll out and be sure to try and do it by the end of the week. Let's see. Keep up office hours and just continue to copy me on any emails pertaining to Senate. It makes everyone's job a whole lot easier if I can stay in the loop to kind of help y'all out with things along the way. So that's it for me.
Awesome. A couple things just to reiterate, as Austin said, the SEC and DC applications, we're going to send those out either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then those will be due on Friday the 8th of February. So be on the lookout for those. Great opportunity to represent Auburn. Also, if you got an email from me about boards and committees, if y'all can respond to that, we're just trying to do inventory and figure out where all we're at with those, and that'd be super helpful. And lastly, just want to echo what Jordan said. We have a lot of election law bills, and so please be reading through those, as these will not affect, obviously, this cycle, but going forward. So very important to look through. And lastly, thank y'all for bearing with me as I try to do eye clickers, and so I think we're going to have everyone put their eye clickers out.
Go ahead and do an ending roll call. Are there any other announcements this evening? Seeing as there's no further business, we just need everyone. Okay, we're good to go, and that is it.
Okay, actually, that's what Oh, that's so much fun. Yeah, all you do is just like stop it. You're welcome. I believe so. It should be good to go. So I'll send it to you.
No, I can barely breathe in your time. Oh my god. Yeah, I might need bars right again at some point.
Is there a tie? Is there a tie? Sorry, I love that shirt.
Hey, what do you do? Or our and then do carpool karaoke. I'm lying.
That's a good one up.
Am I going to start with you?
I was like, oh my gosh. But yes, I will be there.
Nope.
always stuff that you meant.
Yeah.